Ben Wise here, and today we'll talk about our new cycle that's coming up in the protocol. This is going to start on June 6th, and this is our Foundations Cycle 1. So it's going to be running through the summer, and basically, just as it sounds, it's setting a foundation for the competitive season that's going to come down the road, right? These are long progressions that we're seeing to basically get athletes ready for the actual competitive season. In order to do that, we have to be very methodical about how we think about this, right? That's not going to say that we're not going to be doing hard training, because we're doing that pretty much year round. However, we just need to be smart in how we prioritize different things in the program. So as I said, June 6th is when this is starting. For a lot of people, they got done with Murph on May 31st. They needed some time to deload. They kind of took a little bit of a break after that. And now this new week, we're going to get into this new cycle. So some of the priorities in this new cycle. First of all, we're going to be having the power lifts that we were really focusing on last cycle, right? Driving, squat, bench, deadlift, and making sure that we continue to have maintenance touches on all of those, right? We're going to get really creative in how we go about that. It's not just going to be driving percentages like we were with that squat cycle before. We're going to make sure that we, number one, just vary the amount of movements that we're hitting, that we're going to be doing more strict pressing now. We're going to be doing more front squatting now. Variations of maybe touch and go deadlifts in like interval formats, right? We can get way more creative in how we go about dosing athletes. However, we're also going to just make sure that we keep things kind of creative and fresh, and that's one of the things that we actually think about. So besides the powerlifting stuff, again, for a lot of athletes, those maximal strength numbers are really important in driving up all the other numbers that kind of come as a result of that. And a big category there is obviously Olympic lifts. So the Oly lifts are going to be something that is in more of a priority this cycle than it was last cycle, and it's going to continue to probably increase as we get closer to the fall, where in the fall, that's really where we're really trying to drive a lot of new numbers for athletes, sort of like this cycle, we're trying to get new powerlifting, lifetime 1RMs. Here, we're setting the foundation that's necessary for us to, again, kind of transfer that into those Olympic lifts down the road. Here, we're setting the foundation for that, right? So we're doing percentage work. We're going to be doing different skills and kind of complexes and drills that actually help kind of translate really good positions and skills of the Olympic movements so that they hold up when you actually load them maximally, right? You see people all the time, you know, their snatch looks good until it gets to 90% and then it falls apart. We need to make sure that we're building it systematically now, the positions that you need, so that when you hit very heavy numbers, right, 95, 100, hopefully over 100%, you're able to stay and actually maintain those positions. So the Oly lifts are going to definitely be a more importance of this cycle. We're also going to run a muscle up chunking progression. So chunking is basically how many reps you're actually doing at a shot. And this is something that we've identified in the people that are doing the protocol as something that is a limiter for a lot of people, right? They maybe can do, you know, singles, doubles, triples, fives consistently in workouts, but once they get fatigued to a certain point, those fall apart and it's not nearly as they're not able to maintain this very well. So we're going to work on it, right? So we're going to run progressions where there's some fatigue in the system, but it's not so much where you're not able to hold on to good sets, right? So the goal of this muscle up chunking build is for you to be able to hold more reps at a shot when you actually jump up to the rings or jump up to the bar to do a set of muscle ups, that you can hold more. We're going to make sure we're doing assistance work around that as well. So, you know, we're still doing push, pull, accessory work, basically. And then beyond that, right, we're still going to be doing CrossFit, right? We're going to be doing CrossFit year round. We're going to be making sure that we're doing that in SMECONs. We're doing that in interval work. One of the things that we're going to be also making sure that we're including here is just run progressions, right? And here it will often be in mixed formats, where before we did sort of a run tolerance build all the way through that last cycle. Now, in this new cycle, we're basically getting to the point now where we can kind of throw it into more mixed settings. So we're going to make sure we're getting engine touches on a weekly basis, where we're maybe incorporating maybe row and run, or air bike and run, right? Getting creative in how we dose the athletes in their run progressions. So it's not just 30 minutes of running and your joints feel beat up the next day. We can be a little bit more cerebral in how we go about that. So those are our main priorities. If you're someone who's watching this, you're not signed up for the protocol, you can get a free week, check it out, see if you like it. You can go to zorfitness.com/pro-trial and get that free week. Check it out. For everybody else, we'll see you in the protocol.